Can you imagine that Carlos Sainz, the man who just won the 2024 Australian Grand Prix, is currently jobless next year? This might sound crazy, but right now, it's a reality for the Spanish driver. Of course, it would be insane for Carlos Sainz to be left off the grid next year, as he is the only driver besides Max Verstappen to have won in the last 21 races. With his talent, pace, and current form, any team that signs Carlos Sainz for the 2025 season could be getting the deal of a lifetime. Red Bull, Mercedes, and Aston Martin are all top-level teams that have expressed interest in Carlos Sainz for next season. But until that contract is signed and in Carlos Sainz's hand, he's still uncertain of where he will be driving next year. Surely putting up performances like his previous one in Australia will definitely help his stock, and maybe, just maybe, Fred Vasseur and Ferrari will be kicking themselves for the decision they made. So if you think Carlos Sainz deserves a top seat for next season, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video so that maybe another team principal will see this and think, hey, I need him on my team. Done? Let's go. Now look, it may be wrong calling a 3-time race winner underrated, but I'm going to do it anyways. Carlos Sainz is still underrated. Son to 2-time World Rally Champion Carlos Sainz Sr., Carlos Sainz Jr. also began his love for motorsports at a young age. He went on to make his F1 debut in 2015 for Toro Rosso alongside none other than Max Verstappen himself. He spent 3 years at Toro Rosso before moving to Renault for 1 year and a couple races, then to McLaren for 2 years before signing with Ferrari in 2021. At all of these teams, he was never considered the lead driver. At Toro Rosso, he had Verstappen and Kvyat as teammates. At Renault, he had Hülkenberg in his prime. At McLaren, he was up against a protege Norris. And at Ferrari, he was paired against the Ferrari golden child, Charles Leclerc. Carlos didn't mind. He never complained about not being in the spotlight. He just showed up to work every day and did his job. He too has been on the receiving end of some bad luck, even having to wait 8 years to get his maiden pole position and his first race win back at Silverstone in an epic race in 2022. Since that first win, he has added 2 more race wins to his resume, one of which being the only win a non-Red Bull driver achieved in 2023 during the Singapore Grand Prix. On top of that, Sainz has also been in the form of his life in the past couple seasons, but the fact that Sainz still doesn't have the superstar title that some of the drivers have is kind of a mystery. Now, Sainz may not be considered a superstar, but he sure performs like one, and he's shown that multiple times over the past couple seasons. Sainz is smart, and I mean really smart. For the past couple seasons, you've kind of had to be smart while driving for Ferrari, because if you weren't, well, we know how that turns out. Sainz has been one of Ferrari's best strategists for multiple seasons, which is disappointing on Ferrari's end, but extremely impressive for Sainz. It is no easy task to be making strategy calls while driving at over 300 kilometers per hour, or even better, telling the team to change their strategy call because you have a different idea. Sainz has shown that when you go on his strategy calls, they typically end up being right. Compared to Charles Leclerc, Carlos historically was not quite as good at extracting every tenth of a second from the car. He's definitely upped his game in this department as well. He is now qualifying much closer to Leclerc, and this year, in 2024, although he has only raced in 2 of the 3 races, he has beaten Leclerc in both races and outqualified him in 1 of them. Obviously, this is much too small of a sample size, but 2023 was also a year where he was very close to Leclerc, finishing just 6 points behind him in the Driver Championship. He also finished in the points in 18 of the 19 races he finished, which brought some solid points to Ferrari. Any team would easily benefit from Sainz's experience and savvy strategy calls to help get them into high point-paying positions and hopefully many podiums. On top of that, the fact that he isn't scouted as a superstar may lead the team to being able to get Sainz on a contract that is much cheaper compared to other superstar drivers. It's great to know that Sainz would theoretically help improve a team's lineup, but the question remains of which team would benefit the most from signing Carlos Sainz. Something I'm sure many people would love to see is Carlos going to Red Bull to reunite him and Max Verstappen. From a fan standpoint, sure, this would be awesome if Carlos would hop in the car and immediately be able to compete against Max, leading to lots of battles between the two. But realistically, this probably won't be the case because Max has had many more years of experience in that Red Bull, and Red Bull probably don't even want someone to compete with Max. They are more than happy having a solid second driver who can finish second in the Driver Championship. And if that's what they want, Sainz might be too strong for them. On the other hand, both Mercedes and Aston Martin would love to have Sainz in their lineup. For Mercedes, they would probably look for the strongest possible driver to replace Hamilton once he leaves for, ironically, Sainz's Ferrari seat. There may be some friction between Sainz and Russell, both assuming they will be the top dog, but I think it is a risk Mercedes would be willing to take for a shot at that great lineup. For Aston Martin, they are unfortunately bound to land Stroll as long as Lawrence Stroll owns the team. This means that for Aston Martin to give a seat to Sainz, they would have to drop Alonso, which wouldn't really improve their position in the championship. Although you can argue that Sainz is just now hitting his prime. If they could somehow keep Alonso, drop Stroll, and sign Sainz, that would definitely be an upgrade in the driver lineup. No matter where Carlos Sainz goes, he will be making that team lineup stronger. Whether it be Mercedes, Red Bull, Aston Martin, or maybe even Sauber as he waits for them to become Audi, I am confident that Carlos Sainz will be on the grid next season. And if he keeps performing the way he has been so far, that phone will be ringing with offers pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you do want to let me know what you think of the Carlos Sainz situation and where he'll be going next year, leave a comment down below. Thanks again, and see you guys next time. Bye.